I'm rooting for Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers to win it all. And I don't give a damn if people saying I'm being biased. I'm rooting for him now. You know why? Because I hope he comes out angry. And you know what? I feel sorry for the Miami Heat right now. Carry on, Swag. Hey, carry the hell on, man. Listen. I couldn't wait to get on here and bet.
My brethren, I'm not going to say we back anymore because we never left, to be honest with you. Like, we never left this place. So for me, today, it's a lot of happenings, little big bro. And I know you got all kind of stuff going on right now with the NBA playoffs. You're trying to work out travel. You're trying to make sure you good for where you going to be at and how you going to put time in. But we got to get to this and get out of here and make sure our cousins and kin folks get the dose that they need from the Swagu Perk podcast.
Well, first of all, bro.
Why do you have your hands on your face? Like, what's wrong?
Listen, first of all, I miss you as always.
Straight up, every time.
I'm happy to be on. But I'm a little down today, dog.
Why?
I am completely messed up. Because, and I know we go dive into it, but I just got to vent for a second. I don't know the criteria anymore for MVP.
I knew you wasn't going.
No, I don't know it, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm sick of this. Like, I'm tired of it, dog. I don't know the criteria no more for most valuable player.
Okay, let's wait though. Let's wait because I some weeks you put the show together, some weeks I put the show together.
Right,
today,
right. My bad, dog. But what's up?
I knew you was gonna come on here. I knew you was gonna come on here, and I knew you was gonna want to get right into it, and I knew it was gonna be emotional and personal. So we're gonna get to it. I got it in the plans.
I know you do. It is.
Okay. All right, just give me a second. Can we get into the damn show first?
My fault.
I knew when Woj broke the story, I knew you was finna go crazy when we linked up. All right, leave it alone. Yeah, take a deep breath because it's more stuff that's actually gonna get on our nerves before we even get to that. But first, I want to go to something that you talked about. Now, you was a day late and $1 short, but it eventually happened.
Right.
James Harden finally had a James Harden performance, bro. And it wasn't pretty through the first 3 quarters. I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't pretty. But we saw in that 4th quarter, James Harden reminded, if the shot falls, Perk, they got a chance to go to the finals. That's really what it boiled down to. So I'm going to give you the floor on what you saw from James and what you think clicked or what happened in this particular game for him to get out of what we call a slump for his type of talent.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. One, a player like a James Harden type player, that he's not out of his prime, okay? I believe James is 32 years of age. So eventually, he was going to have one of those games.
Yeah.
And now I strongly believe that the Miami Heat are in trouble.
Yeah.
Because for a player like that who you could kind of see his confidence was gone for whatever strange reason, to have a game like that and to see the ball go in and to get his confidence back, I'm like, oh, and now he has the big Philly. So guess what? Now he's able to go one-on-one at the top of the key without seeing that help defense. It's a different thing now. So I'm glad I'm just one of the very few people that didn't turn my back and say that James Harden was done. I said I still had faith in him. I said, despite all the stuff he was going through, whatever the case may be, I knew that he had this game in him. But look, let me point this out to you. I never said this because I was waiting on us to come on here and do what we do, and that's vibe and be tied together.
We on the phone. Ain't nobody else here.
Here's the thing. We were so busy, people are so busy criticizing James Harden instead of actually praising him for the transition that he has taken.
That's a good point.
Okay?
That's a good point.
A guy that led the league in scoring for 3 years, right before our very own eyes, transitioned from a shooting guard to a point guard and really doing it in great fashion. Now, he's not shooting the ball well from the field. I get that. Before it's setting up Tobias Harris, for it's setting up Tyrese Maxey, for it's setting up Joel Embiid, for it's setting up Danny Green, he's doing that.
Yeah.
He's doing that.
He actually turned into the facilitator in Brooklyn.
But guess what? We praise LeBron James for being able to switch positions and do things to that nature. Why we can't do that for James Harden?
All right, let me push back a little bit because I gotta give you the other side of what somebody would say to what you just said. We ain't bring James Harden here to be a facilitator. We brought him here to get 30. Like, so I get basketball minds, you and I, guys that's been around the game, and a lot of other people. I don't want to discount fans and people but you've been in the game, you've been on the sideline. You understand how difficult it is for a player to morph into something else that the team is needing him to be. But ultimately, bro, James went over there to get 30 a game, bro, along with Joel Embiid. So how far do you think they can go with him being a facilitator as opposed to seeing what we saw last night?
I think it's whatever that particular game need him to be.
That's where I wanted you to go.
Because listen, medium swag. Listen, skinty, medium swag. Here's the thing.
That neck getting little.
You see, it's all on the back of what Tyrese Maxey is doing. If Tyrese Maxey is balling out, James Harden is going to feed him. But if Tyrese Maxey needs James Harden to lift him up, okay, James, we need you to be that version of James Harden that you was in Game 4.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm starting to see? Slowly but surely, I'm starting to see him look a little bit more healthy. Just think about this. When was the last time we saw James Harden drive to the basket through the lane and snatch the screws out of the rim?
It's been a long time.
It hasn't been. We saw it in Game 6 of the first round.
Oh, sure did.
So he showed us that. So I'm like, okay, so he still got that in him. Okay, now all of a sudden it took him. Okay, Game 4. Now we seeing the sidestep, the step back 3-point shots, and hey, look, they wasn't rattling in. Those were bottoms.
They were bottoms. Here's what I want to say about that too, because ain't it funny how shot making change everything?
Yes.
So I think a lot of the pundits that you're talking about that said he was cooked was talking about his inability to blow by people, right? Because we all know James to be one of the toughest guards because of his ability to maneuver with the basketball, footwork, and all of that. But to your point, like, I think that's something a lot of people didn't think about. It's like, bro, I'm in a completely different role now. But I'm the fan, Perk, sitting on the outside saying, I get it that you got to facilitate. I get it that when Tyrese is on, or when Joel is obviously in his bag every damn night, or you think about all of these other guys that he's surrounded by, at what point do you say, James, you got to take over?
But I understand that. And here it is, while we talking, I'm pulling up the box score from last night.
Yep.
Like, think about this. In Game 4, Danny Green, 3 for 4 from the 3, 11 points. Okay, but those 11 points and him going 3 for 4 was huge. You know why? Because now all of a sudden, no matter what your defensive schemes are, no matter what Eric Spoelstra throw out there at you, all of a sudden you got to pay attention to him.
That. Yeah.
You got to pay attention to him again. And if you go back and look at Game 1 and Game 2, guess what? Bro, they was breaking, the Miami Heat was breaking the cardinal rule. They was actually showing help off the strong side.
Yeah, strong side. You never help strong side.
So James couldn't even see a gap to drive through that lane because they actually was boxing him in if he was on either side of the court.
Here's the thing too, bro. Like, to your point, like for me, it was all about shot making for James. Because here's what happens. Do you remember, and you know, we get the Steph Curry fans that hate to hear the truth about it sometimes. You remember when Steph was struggling, shoot the ball?
Yes.
It wasn't easy to get to the rack. He was getting like 16, 19. Like you could do that in your sleep. Now, here's the thing for me. Because for me, it's double-edged, bro. James Harden came to Philly because we think, and you and I thought and think still, that vintage James Harden can get the Philadelphia 76ers to the finals.
Yep.
All right. I believe that too. With obviously Joel being the best. I think Joel Embiid is the best. Giannis is the best player. Joel might be the toughest guard.
Man, listen, it's 1A, it's 1A, 1B.
Exactly. But my point being is that, Perk, I think we're gonna need on average 57 between both of them.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Agree. But look,
like any given night, we gonna need one at 30, one close to 30.
But Swagu, let me tell you, it's something like with you when you lined up on that defensive line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you could say in the first and the second quarter, you may have tried a certain technique to beat your opponent. They may have been sending a double team and it wasn't working, or your single coverage, or whatever. But all of a sudden, when you figured, okay, I'm gonna go right, swim, move over the left, knock him out the way, I got him. So now I may not have the strength to outmuscle whoever was standing in front of you, but now I got the swim move. Okay, So what James Harden is saying is, see, the bad part, the worst thing that could have happened for the Miami Heat is that James Harden saying, okay, I can't get my game off now. That's why I tell people, when you're in the regular season, okay, and you happen to be playing against a team that you may play against in the playoffs. Now, I'm going off the map here for a second. When you're playing against a team that you could possibly see in the playoffs in your conference,
right?
And say you done beat this team already twice, and y'all got 2 games left, and it's a month and a half left in the regular season, and you're gonna face them again. You want to make sure that you beat the hell out of that team in those last 2 games again, to let them know that when they go into the postseason, if they happen to face you, they got doubt in the back of their mind, because they never had success against you in the regular season.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. How much, because you're the only one that's been in NBA games, critical games, and won a championship. How much do you all right, so you got, let's say a series go 6 games. As an individual player, if you doing something and you struggling, how long should it take you to be able to adjust to that, bro?
Sometimes you don't. See, that's the thing. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can adjust. Sometimes let me ask you this. Did Trae Young adjust?
Nope.
Okay, Trae Young struggled. We kept saying that Trae Young was going to get out of this funk. There's no way that the Miami Heat could lock him down the way that they was doing for the entire series. They did it.
They did. And it took KD what? It took KD till the 4th game.
But that speaks to the power of Joel Embiid.
It don't matter. With him, it don't matter. I'm with you on that. Like, it don't matter. Throw whatever you want to throw at him, it don't matter, because he's still gonna make the right basketball play. All right, look, man, I could talk to you about James Harden impact, what he did, what he could do, what it should look like all day, but we got to move on to something else. And I told you when you first wanted to jump into the third part of the podcast, I had to pull you back in, bro. We got to talk about this CP3 thing, bro, because this really bothers me. This really, really bothers me, man, because you and I know we talk all the time about like people on social media and people that say crazy things and do all of this. But I think when I first heard it initially, when I first heard that somebody put his hands on his mama, I was like, CP3 about to go to jail tonight.
Yeah.
Like my initial thought was he about to go to jail. Because if it's anything to cross over that bench into the stands for, it's for your people.
It's for your people.
It's for your people. All right. And then the second part came to me is like, because it's logic on both sides of what CP3 should do and what the NBA should do, right? About what's going on, right? Like the whole fans talking crazy, to me, that don't bother me that much.
Nah.
That don't bother me.
And guess what? And real quick, and to add on to that, if you're a professional athlete, right, whether it's football, basketball, you actually preach and teach that in your household.
In your household, yep.
So that your wife and your children and your mom, dad, or whoever could know to block that out.
Right. So I that part for me ain't. People gonna say crazy. People been saying crazy stuff since forever, before social media, believe it or not.
Right.
But the part about the physical part of it for me, Perk, is when I think the NBA, and here's my remedy. All right. If you got a family member on the team, if you got a high profile family member on the team, such as CP3 or Devin Booker or Giannis Antetokounmpo, they need to have a section that's guarded by security. Like, it needs to be a section within every state. You know how every owner in the NFL got a box in each stadium that they sit in when they go. Like if Jerry, the owner of the Cowboys, was going to Denver, the Broncos stadium would have a suite for him, his family, and people that came along with him. I think in NBA, and I know it's family sections. I know it's family sections in NBA, just like the NFL. But I think with the NBA, more importantly, bro, because the fans are so close to the players, like we saw the security guard have to tackle the lady that ran on the floor, that I think she was about to do a protest or something. And now you got this incident. You got certain situations where you got players that end up in the stands playing basketball, like like going for a block, and they end up falling into the stands or whatever. But I think for family members, bro, especially wives, kids, mothers, like that close immediate family, it's got to be something the NBA do to almost put them in like a VIP section.
It's not gonna happen.
Why?
Let me tell you why. They too damn cheap.
Money.
So let me explain to you how it goes. Okay, at home, you get 4 comp tickets at home when you're the home team. On the road, you get 2. The rest you have to buy, right? That's since I've been in the NBA, that's what it's been, okay? Let me tell you something. What needs to happen is that each organization has to get together as a team.
Yep.
And so players have to get together and say, hey, man, you got family going. Let's all chip in and get this suite. Let's all chip in and get a security guard. Let's have our family together. And that's how we could kill it. Because I'm going to tell you something. I went through the situation. I just got to Oklahoma City. We're playing in the playoffs. We're playing against Zebo and Big Gasol for the Grizzlies. My wife was pregnant with our second child, and she was up in the stands, and I happened to look across, and she's in an argument with 2 men about to fight. I tell the coach, I get up from the bench, I stopped the whole game. No lie. I stopped the whole damn game. And I had to go get my wife out the stands, and she went and sat next to Troy Weaver and Sam Presti with the security guards, and they escorted them out the guys out of the arena because they was tripping. So it made me, one, realize this. Unless we went to the finals, my family couldn't go on the road. Yeah. Because I didn't want to put them in that position. Now, I will tell you something else. Now, when we get to Cleveland, I'm over there. This is my first go around. LeBron's wife, Savannah, my wife, Vanity, are real cool, okay? It's Mother's Day. We playing in Chicago. Bron like, hey, man, I'm going to fly Savannah out, man, for Mother's Day, you know what I'm saying, on the PJ. Van want to go. Van want to come, so she come. Her and Savannah come. Bron I watched how he do it. This is why I say this dude is so damn smart. Yeah. He gets a suite along with security to escort his wife and my wife to the suite. They watch the game from the suite. Is no hanging around after the game. They go straight to their car, back to the hotel, and then we all of a sudden we met them back at the hotel and went out to dinner.
Yeah,
that's what you do. It's a shame, and I get it. People supposed to be able to come and support their loved ones while they playing, but it's just not gonna happen.
That ain't realistic.
Because it's all about the damn dollar.
Yeah, they gotta sell them seats.
You got to understand this, Swagu. Listen here, Swag. They only release about 20 to 25 tickets for the team on the road anyway.
For the whole team?
Yes, because that's what they may do. They may do 40 max. Because the arena
20,000.
To make their money. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna say this. If you're a grown-ass man and you sitting up here beefing with a woman and a mama and a kid in the stands, you ain't no man at all, dog.
Not at all. Not at all. And I know that, listen, bro, I ain't even gonna get it. I get pissed off on this podcast. I ain't even gonna get into it. Let me tell you something. But like you said. No, there ain't no holding back. You get into it. But you know how simple that is for us, bro. You put your hand on my mom or my wife, we squabbling. It ain't deep. It ain't no like, I don't gotta think about nothing. My natural reaction is gonna be to come up there and whoop your ass. That's it. Like I don't have no eloquent speech to say. I don't have like if I look up or if I'm somewhere and somebody puts their hand, if it's a woman, I ain't worried about it. My wife gonna whoop that ass. My wife is a G when it comes to that. But if bro, you ain't even got to put your hands on it. You just got to be in their space and they don't want you in it.
Yeah.
So for me, like it, and it ain't, see, this is what people get. I grew up in the hood. I ain't no gangster. I ain't never claimed to be one. I know a lot of gangsters. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of OGs. I know a lot of dudes that I know dudes right now that's doing time. But ultimately, to me, that is a blackout moment. Like that ain't no, we don't need to say nothing. You push my mom, you push my wife, you got in my wife's space and said something crazy to her, I'm about to whoop your ass. We'll deal with whatever come after that. But that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm not coming up there to talk to you about why you talking to her, what happened, what did she say? No, she could be absolutely wrong. You get in her face, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and then we'll deal with that afterward. That's all I got to say. So that's what I got into.
No, that's real. Because look, let me tell you, I think you and I talked about this before, and I'm gonna repeat myself. Is people that I would lose it all for. And when I say lose it all, I mean like I would literally go sit under the jailhouse behind, and that's my family.
100%.
Because that's what you're supposed to do as a husband and as a dad and as a son, is you go protect your family, period.
That's it. There ain't no thinking.
Bro, but listen, I get it. It's two sides, okay? The players make enough money, they should put their families in better situations. I'm not knocking it, but your family should be allowed to come on the road and watch their people without distractions. But the NBA got to quit being so damn cheap. And I love Adam Silver.
Yeah.
But man, listen, you're making so much money, man. At the end of the day, it's not hard, man. It is not hard. That's why I respect the Boston Celtics so much. Let me explain to you, even Oklahoma City Thunder. Man, when we made it to the finals, they had a jet, 5 families to ride on. They had transportation, buses to and from the arena with security. Yep. Like they had all that set in place. That's and if you know, if you know that you're about to make a deep playoff run, and the NBA, come on now, like it don't take much to go high. They got millions of security teams out here.
And I'm with you because it ain't a lot of teams playing either.
And it's on Mother's Day. That man, wife, and mama should be allowed to go sit in the stands and enjoy their son and husband without some fool messing with them. Man, don't get me started on that.
I was about to say, man,
bro.
Yeah, let's go and get past it because that right there, Zero tolerance, like they say in school. Zero tolerance. All right, man, let's move on. Let's get the way you wanted to get to this MVP. Bro, Jokic won. Let me say my piece, and I know you want to go in. You and I both agreed that we thought Joel Embiid should win the MVP. And I feel like what was missed in the whole MVP conversation with Joel was that, and I get it, that Jokic didn't have Murray and he carried, and nobody is dispute. Bro, listen, let me say this first of all. I got no problem with Jokic winning the MVP.
Me either.
None. I got like zero. I got a problem with Joel not winning it. Okay? So let me explain that for everybody. If you got a problem with Jokic, if you ain't got no problem with Jokic, listen. We have always agreed that both of these players are phenomenal. We have both agreed that this MVP race is very, very tight. But we both also felt like with everything that Joel had to deal with the Ben Simmons situation, the transitioning of a team, trying to figure out like coming back from injury, doing the things that he had to do, and to have the Philadelphia 76ers in the playoffs, okay, where they are right now still playing. And I know this is the regular season, but ultimately it's because Joel Embiid is on it. It ain't because James Harden came. This man was out there carrying like Jokic was. But fortunately for Jokic is that last year when he won the MVP, there was a template.
I just want you to keep talking.
Yeah.
I'm pulling up some research, but I'm listening.
There was a template that everybody followed saying, well, Jokic won the MVP last year and his numbers was better this year.
Keep going.
But ultimately, bro, my problem with the MVP voting, the MVP situation, how we talk about MVP in this league, and you and I have agreed that sometimes you already know who the MVP is. You ain't even got to do it. Because just as well as we saying Joel Embiid, we could also be talking about Giannis in this way. So I have no problem with Jokic winning it. Here's my issue, though. Here's my issue. I believe this. I ain't saying I'm right. I don't know. I believe last year when Jokic won the MVP, factored into the voting for this year. And that's the problem that I have. I think they came in saying Nikola Jokic was the MVP last year. Look at his numbers. They better than they were last year. So he should be the MVP. I think a lot of people made that argument in their head. And when they voted, and they didn't look at, damn, Joel had a better season though. Go ahead. I'm going to let you do it. I know you want to get into it. My only piece is, and let me say this, congratulations to Jokic.
Yes.
I'm definitely not going to say he didn't deserve it. Bro, no. 27, 13, and 8, a clip?
Yeah. You can't, look.
That's MVP numbers.
That's MVP numbers.
But last year, nobody will tell me, last year, and the comparison of Jokic to Jokic this year didn't affect how they voted. Because if you watch Joel Embiid play this year, dog, that was the MVP of the NBA this year. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, okay? Let me say this.
I'm gonna sit back.
For the last 4 years, guess what? The MVP trophy has went to international players.
Yep.
Okay, so one, I want to know what American superstars go take it personal and go get that trophy back. That's the first thing. The second thing is this, the criteria, right? I don't know what's the criteria for the MVP no more. I don't know if it's advanced stats. I don't know if it's PER. I don't know if it's the eye test. I don't know what it is. But I do know this. The story should matter.
Right.
The story. Right. Forget that Joel Embiid led the league in points per game and was the first center to do it since Shaquille O'Neal. Forget that he averaged 30. I think the last center to do that was Moses Malone. Forget the fact that he had, I believe, 14, 40, and 10 games. The last person to do that was like 30 years ago. The story, Ben Simmons quit at the beginning of the season. Joel Embiid came out publicly and said, I'm not worried about him no more. I got to worry about these guys in the locker room and worry about getting them back and leading them to make sure we do our part. He did just that. Joel Embiid, don't quote me on this because I may be wrong. He has something, and something is still wrong with his knee, with a meniscus. He played through that the entire season. Now, all of a sudden, not only did he play through it, he made Philly an attractive place, so attractive that James Harden left Kyrie and KD in Brooklyn to come play with the big fella because that's how attractive he made the Philadelphia 76ers. So all of a sudden, Ben Simmons quit, his other quote-unquote young superstar. He has something wrong with his meniscus, played through that. They won 50-plus. He attracted James Harden. James Harden got there, wasn't the best version of himself. Joel Embiid still carried them. They won 50-plus games in the tougher conference, right? This is why I say it's the tougher conference.
Bro, you ain't got to explain that. The East
no, but I want to
explain
not to you. I know you know.
Okay.
It's to the cousins and kin folks out there.
Yeah, I had got pissed off. Go ahead, my bad.
Think about this. In order to make the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference, the play-in tournament, the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets were 4 games above 500. In order to make the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference, the Spurs and the Pelicans were 14 games under 500. So he had to really punch in the clock to get his team where they are today. The story gotta matter. And usually since we talk about Jokic last year and how you brought it up, and that was a great point about how he blew his numbers out from last year and he won the MVP, so did Joel Embiid. And usually when you're the runner-up and then you come back and have a better season, you should be rewarded because you was the runner-up last year. You came back and doubled down and had an even more impressive season and had to deal with way more adversity.
Bro, listen, man.
He had that, man, swag.
You know you're not telling me. You're not telling me nothing. I don't know.
I know, but listen. He answered this for me. He had, their organization for about 4 months out of the season had to answer questions about Ben Simmons.
Bro, this man didn't have another player on this team that we knew could ball.
No, he had no other all-star. I know Jokic didn't either, but listen. Let me finish.
This is why I said that. The reason why I said Joel not having those guys on his team is because of what you just pointed out. Bro, the East got the Miami Heat, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Chicago Bulls were in first place at one point in the East this year. Brooklyn was picked to win the championship. Okay? Like we to your point, like I know Jokic didn't have Murray. I know Jokic didn't have a full boat. All right. He didn't have Michael, the other 6'10" button. I can't think of his last name, but from Missouri, Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr. But I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand why you wouldn't look at Joel's season, okay, and you wouldn't look at the Eastern Conference and say, yeah, he had a more difficult road. And he still put up these numbers, and his team is in the playoffs.
But this is what I'm saying.
I know.
This is what I'm saying. And people want to say, oh, he had a better supporting cast. Well, tell me the damn difference between Tobias Harris and Aaron Gordon.
Truth.
Tell me the difference between that. Jokic did have Aaron Gordon. They did pay Aaron Gordon almost $100 million.
They did.
Like, come on, man. Like, and I'm not even knocking Jokic, bro. Again, I'm not even knocking that. But I just want to know the criteria.
Yeah.
Of course, because nobody go sit up here and tell me that Jokic is a better defender than Joel Embiid.
To your point, Brody, degree of difficulty gotta matter. Like it's gotta matter. And this is again, Jokic had things he had to get over. He didn't have but it was a tougher role for Joel Embiid, bro. Like
the story.
Yeah, that's reality. That's reality.
The story. Hey, guess what? The story that
I'm listening to you. I gotta look something up.
No, you good. But the story has made so many greats legacy. The story.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. That's all I'm saying, man. But look, shout out to Jokic and all that. But you know what? I'm gonna say this right now. I'm rooting for Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers to win it all. And I don't give a damn if people saying I'm being biased. I'm rooting for him now. You know why? Because I hope he comes out angry. And you know what? I feel sorry for the Miami Heat right now. Because this reminds me of the same situation when it was David Robinson and Akeem Olajuwon. And we know what Akeem Olajuwon went out there and done when he felt like he got robbed.
Yeah.
Carry on, Swag. Carry the hell on, man.
Listen.
I couldn't wait to get on here and bet.
I know it, bro. And I had a couple conversations about it. And I was like, people hit me in my DMs about it. Like, oh, y'all wanted Embiid to win. No, we didn't care who won. We just thought Embiid should have won.
Right.
Like it ain't neither one of them paying no bills in the Perkins or the Spears household. But
we don't like. What do we get out of being biased for somebody? I don't care.
Could care less.
I'm just telling you why I feel like this. Or we telling you why we feel like this man deserved to win the MVP.
Hey, man, he should have won the MVP. Anyway, let's move on. All right. So I know you like an old person. All right, we gotta lighten this podcast up because I've been pissed off about CP3 and Joel. We gotta lighten this podcast up, and I know you don't listen. You old. You people don't see when people think of you as an old soul, they don't think like an old soul. I know you, and that's why we vibe because I'm an old soul too. But I do listen to music. Okay, I listen to music. I keep up with current events. You don't. I have to tell you everything that's going on outside of the world of the Perkins household and basketball. And it's kind of sickening. I need you to expand. I need you to expand, dog.
Well, the reason is you're right. I don't listen to music, and you're right again. You do have to catch me up on everything that's going on in culture, especially music, because I don't want to hear about riding outside with 5 choppers and blowing somebody's head off. The music ain't what it is no more, damn it.
And here's where we're going to meet. This is why big bro and little bro, this is why we like this.
So here's the thing. I ride in the car. If I'm going somewhere.
What do you do?
Okay, it's either I'm calling somebody that I want to talk to, one of my good brothers, and we're going to have either a great conversation about basketball and life, or we're going to talk about how to get some money.
Well, I be the good brother on the end of that conversation.
Right. So we're gonna talk these two the whole ride there. Yep. That's what we're gonna do. And sometimes, guess what? I sometimes ride in silence to think about some of the areas or things that I need to get together in my life.
Hey,
and
I'm not gonna hate on that because I do that too.
Now I will say this though. Every now and then, I may put on some 90s R&B because that takes you back. That's that good vibing music. You know what I'm saying? If I'm rolling with the wifey, me and her listen to 90s R&B because if I give her control of it, we'll be listening to spirituals all day. So it's no knock on praising the Lord, but I just don't want to praise him on every Tuesday,
You want to hear some vibing. You want to vibe a little bit. Yeah.
And I praise the Lord. But here's the thing, bro.
Oh, but speaking of gospel now, hey, when I be on that John P. Key or that William Murphy or that Smokey Norfolk, when I be on that Tasha Cobb, boy, Listen, sometimes you just be in that, you be in that car, my partner Todd Delaney, sometimes you be in that car, you be like, Lord, have mercy. Jesus, you've been good. You've been good, man.
Hey, but you want to know something though? Like even like, I think we talked about this though, but if you want to jam some Beyonce, see, Beyonce take anybody out of their comfort zone.
100%.
I didn't caught myself really in there, like I'm really in there tripping. Well, I done had to catch myself like, hold on.
Oh, I'm a man.
Hey, Beyonce had you looking in the rearview mirror at yourself.
I'm laughing so hard, bro. Her and Jay came to Dallas. I took the wifey. We went. They came to Dallas, dog. And I know a lot of Jay-Z songs, right? I know a lot of Jay-Z music. Bro, the way I reacted to Beyonce, my wife was looking at me like, bro, hey, bro, like, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good. While my hips are moving.
Straight up. I'm telling you,
something about that music, y'all.
Sign me up for the Beehive. I'm telling you, I'm all up in.
I'm a part of it. I'm a part of it. Because if you go against them, they're going to kill you. So I'm a part of it.
They're going to kill you.
They going to get you. But anyway, let me get back to it, bro. So that's how you ride and vibe out. And I'm with you because I don't listen first, let me say this. I'm not saying this to hate on the new generation. They like what they like. Right. I'm sure when our parents and grandmothers heard our music, they was like, Lord, have mercy. They all gonna turn into drug addicts and they're gonna have problems, right? So I get it and I understand it. I think today's music though, like the music my kids listen to that I try to kind of listen to see what's going into their head and what they listening to. This ain't got nothing to do with sports. This Swagu and Perk vibing right now. Perk, I don't remember, okay, our generation of rappers glorifying being drug addicts.
No.
I got a real problem. Listen, you make music and I know these dudes making money. I know they doing whatever they doing. And I know a lot of the stuff that we listened to growing up, the older generation would have been like, y'all are the worst. But Perk, we ain't glorifying no drugs. No. I don't remember Jay or Nas or Biggie or Pac or like, dude, every rapper popping Molly's and Percocets now. They all drinking lean. Like, bro, I'm telling you, even when Wayne first came out and I was in Louisiana, you rap about where you are, right? He rapped about being from the Noble, he rapped and then Wayne went to the drugs. And that's when I stopped listening to Wayne. It wasn't on purpose. I think he one of the greatest rappers ever lived, but it never registered to me with this music now. The glorification of being on drugs.
Bro, I'm telling you, and that's why I can't listen to it.
Yeah, dude. Now I'm with you on that.
Not if it's something that has to do with getting to the bag or somebody telling their life story and they struggle through a song. I'm all in for it.
Bro, let me tell you who I listen to. I'm going to tell you who I listen to right now. I listen to a lot of J. Cole. I listen to a lot of Drake. I listen to a lot of old Lil Boosie because we grew up together.
Yeah,
set it off in this one. That was an anthem, boy. Listen.
Right. It's still
you know, me and Boosie grew up together, so I knew him before his music really went way mainstream.
It's still an anthem.
It's still an anthem. Oh, you turn it on right now, I'm gonna bust this computer screen open. Right. Straight up. but I listen to Moneybag. I always listen to Ross.
Oh, yeah. Ross.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to your point, Drake, I listen to dudes that's like telling stories, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their preference. The only problem I got with the rap that I hear now that my kids listen to, the glorification of the drug heads. Like, I can't ever, and I tell them all the time, like, listen, this ain't your daddy being old. That shit ain't cool.
No,
it ain't about me trying to, because the other thing is I don't want to be my kids' friends. I don't care about that. My job is to raise them and make sure they great humans and they treat people the right way. But ultimately, like, bro, some of the stuff I'd be like crazy. But anyway, let me get back to why I brought this up.
I think, hold on. I think I know why. I saw you. You know I'm on Twitter.
I know you on Twitter. I know that's the other thing.
I saw your tweet, and
about
I see everybody about Kendrick Lamar. See, I know. See, the thing is, I know you. Now I saw it, but I got mixed. All I did was read a couple of tweets, and I actually got mixed emotions. Some people were saying it was great. Some people were saying they wasn't feeling it. I don't know. I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you. Tell us what you think, cousins and kid folks out there. What do Swag has to say about Kendrick Lamar? I saw him look like Kobe, and I saw him pay tribute to Nipsey. That's all I saw on Twitter.
First of all, this ain't. I think Kendrick Lamar is a genius. I thought that before this came out. Okay. They got this digital thing that they did where his face changed to Kobe, Will Smith, O.J. Simpson, Nipsey Hussle. I might be forgetting one. But anyway, Perk, it ain't about that though. Like, that was a great visual. Kanye was the other one. That was a great visual to see, like, his face morphs into these guys' face. But Perk, what's so genius about it? If you listen to the verse when he has that face, like when he got Kobe face, he talking about legacy.
Yeah.
When he got Nip face, he talking about building the community and putting stuff in place. Dude, so a lot of people caught up in the visual. But if you listen to the verse and what he's saying when OJ face on, you like, damn, that in OJ Simpson situation, what we know OJ for, he put a verse to that. But bro, for him to be able to go from Kobe and a verse that relate to Kobe. Now, see, this is the problem too. You got a generation that listen to beats and they don't care about lyrics no more. Like that's another thing that has happened to music, in my opinion, with a lot of the rappers.
No, that's facts.
Yeah, like they don't have to say nothing no more. They do a nursery rhyme with a nice beat and a hook, and that mug get 100 million digital downloads or whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that's saying, now some people might not just like Kendrick and his style, and that's rap. Like, I get that. But a lot of people that's saying it wasn't all that, they don't care, they don't listen to lyrics no more. All they care about was the beat tight so I could bob my head, and when I roll my windows down, are people gonna be like, man, what you Kendrick ain't on that. This dude is a genius, bro. But I know you don't listen to music, but you gonna listen to this because your big bro asking you to.
I'm gonna listen to
when you go watch the video. Don't get caught up in the visual of the faces and all of that, even though it's super dope. Listen to the verse or the bars when he has those faces on.
To the message.
It's almost to a T, each one of them dudes' situations and where they are now. Like, so, let me pull this up.
You tell me to listen to the message.
Listen to the message when the face is on them. Let me pull this up right now. Hold on one second. Because this is for our cousins and kin folks that are in the music, and we don't cover this a lot, but I want to make sure I get this point across. When I tweeted yesterday about Kendrick, I tweeted one of the bars that he said when he had Nip face on, Nipsey Hussle. This is what he said, Perk. Hold on one second. Let me find it. I don't need to be in the flesh just to hug y'all. And then he talked about, he did it from Nip perspective of how he was thinking when the dude was in front of him and shot him. Dude, listen when the faces are on him, and you will realize, like when he had Will Smith face on, he said, we live in a world where hurt people hurt people. And you remember, we've been talking about Will and Jada and how he feeling, and then Will going and slapping Chris Rock, hurt people hurt. Listen, it's genius, bro. I love music.
Now you got me wanting to go listen to something.
Listen when he got Kobe face on. Listen to him talk about legacy, bro. It's so far beyond like what people are used to right now, because everybody want to just hear something that make them move. It's fire. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone because I can talk about that all day.
Hey, you could dial me in. No, you know what? Hey, since we was talking about the spirituals and gospel, you know that song, sign me up.
Sign me up.
Sign me up for Christians to believe. Sign me up. I'm telling you.
All right, bro. Because we'll get it. We'll have a whole nother podcast to put out 2 weeks from now. We get going. Hey, I got one thing. I got one request, bro, because our cousins and kin folks been asking for it.
What?
You got to hit them with some Perk wisdom. You got to tell them something to either make their day better. You got to tell them something about perspective and how to think. You got to give them something, bro. Give our people something to hold on to until we back again next week.
Okay. You ready? Check this out. You are not a boss unless everyone around you is eating.
It's been Swagu and Perk.
Let me tell you again. You're not a boss. I'm going to break it down to you like this. You are not a boss if you're the only person that's eating. I'm going to say it to you like that. You're not a boss if you're the only person that's eating.
Little bro, I love you. It's been another
I'm just saying, bro.
Hey,
like,
man.
I'm just saying.
Hey, cousins and kin folks, do with that what you will, but take heed and think about it. All right? Perk, can I say one? Can I give him one?
Like, give me one.
Remember this forever. This
Hey,
Perk.
Hey,
Perk,
look,
what
hey, when you get that little smirk though, I love it.
This the Perk and the Swagu wisdom, and we're gonna end the podcast. Selfish people never celebrate.
I know you ain't good. I say it one more time. Say it one more time. What you say?
Selfish people never celebrate. Perk, when we doing it big on this podcast, I need my brother so we can celebrate. If I got 10 million, I'm gonna hand you 5 because I ain't have 5 to begin with.
That's what I'm.
Let go. Hey, we out. Parker, Andrea, Dan, our producers. We love y'all. This is Starting 5. This is Swagu and Perk. We're gonna tap in with y'all next week. I love you, bro.
Love you too, dog.